It was a typical Tuesday afternoon at the park, kids playing, parents chatting, total peace. And then I heard it. A grown man was yelling, and he wasn't yelling just at anyone. He was yelling at my 6-year-old son. I watched Leo's body freeze and his face crumple as he tried not to cry. As I rushed over to him, it hit me. I had a split-second decision to make. Do I defend my child? Do I confront the father? Or do I say nothing? I'm curious, what would you have done in this situation? And have you ever been in a similar situation? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. So here's what happened in the lead up to that explosive moment. My son, Leo, had told the other boy, we'll call him Joe, that he didn't want to play with him. Joe didn't take it well. He started disrupting Leo's scooter jumps, driving a remote control car into the ramp every time when Leo was trying to jump. Leo asked him to stop and he just wouldn't. He picked up Joe's car and turned it over. And that's when Joe's dad lost it. At the top of his lungs, he shouted, "Leo, you leave my son's car alone. You do not touch it." When I ran over to Leo, I just wrapped my arms around him. To me, the dad's reaction was quite frankly an overreaction. I asked him, "Is everything okay?" And that's when everything escalated. Shaking with anger, he shouted at me, "No, it's not. Joe's been crying himself to sleep for weeks now because of Leo. Leo always makes it obvious that he doesn't want to play with Joe." He went on to tell me that his wife had broken down and cried over it in public. Then he dropped the line that stung. "This is all because of Leo." I was shocked. I knew there was tension, but I had no idea their family was at breaking point. While I felt for them, I also felt a flash of anger. We had supported this family through their son's own difficult behaviors for 2 years. But at that moment, friendship and history didn't seem to matter to Joe's dad. We left the park after that confrontation, feeling quite down and out. So what do you actually do when another parent yells at your kid? Here are the 3 rules I live by now. 1. Become the shield. In the heat of the moment, don't worry about who is right. Your only job is to make your child feel safe. When I hugged Leo, I put my body between him and the angry adult. This signals to your child, I've got you. You are safe. And it signals to the adult that the conversation with your child is over. 2. Don't match their energy. Calm people don't shout at children. If a parent is yelling, they've lost their logic. If you yell back or you even try to talk it out, it's likely to turn into a fight. And then your child will feel even less safe. But it's hard to know what to say in the heat of the moment. There's probably no right words, and I think it's just fine to say nothing. Or to maybe say something like, "I can see you're upset right now. Let's talk about it when everyone is calmer." And 3, talk to your child. This, I feel, is the most important one. And sometimes it's good to talk it out a couple of times. The goal here, though, is to listen to your child, understand how they're processing it, and then help them see it all in a healthy way. As soon as Leo and I got back home, I asked him, "How are you feeling?" And that's when he asked me in a shaky voice, "Is it all my fault?" And I told him no. You're never responsible for the way another person feels or how they choose to behave. But we can feel for them, but we don't have to take on the blame. Leo and I also talked about why he was pushing Joe away. I learned that Joe was flicking Leo in the nose. So Leo and I practiced saying things like, "Stop, you're hurting me," and "That's not okay." As time went on, things got better between the boys. And looking back, I can see that Joe's parents were likely acting out of pure desperation. Joe was struggling socially at school. But I often wonder how different things would have been if Joe's dad had the courage to be honest about their struggle, and instead of looking for another child to blame, he said something like this: "Hey, Joe is really struggling with rejection at school right now, and he's taking it to heart that Leo doesn't want to play with him. Can we help them work through this?" If he had said something like that, I would have been all in. But that requires vulnerability, and it's much easier to blame another child than to admit your own son is struggling to fit in. But by choosing blame over honesty, they pushed away the very support system they needed the most. At the end of the day, our job isn't to control other parents or to fix their kids. It's to build the character of our own child, and in the process, refining our own. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.